What's up, guys? Welcome back to the pressing zone. Because it's game day 2, and we already dropped points against a mid-table side, and we probably should have lost that game. Not probably, we should have lost that game. We need to be completely honest here. We should have lost that game. We got away with it. We were terrible from minute 1 to minute 90. We were absolutely embarrassing, and we deserve this. We deserve this because not we as fans, but like as a club, we should not complain. That's what we deserve for what we put out there. And I think we can all agree now that those 45 minutes were a fluke, because what we saw today for 90 minutes is what we've seen for 2 years. There's no difference. It's just what it is, I guess. We will go into it. So like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's go. Okay, I will start off by saying that last week I was very positive, and I said there were negative stuff, but I'm just gonna put it aside for the first game, and talk about the positive things, because we saw a few of them in preseason. So I was like, let's talk about it. But there are some negative stuff. Let's pick up on those negative stuff. First of all, for the person that's spamming the comments with praise Alexandro for last week, leave the channel if you don't, because you're not gonna like what's coming now. Just so stop spamming the comments, because last week I said he had a good game, and I said he had a good game because he didn't make any glaring mistakes. But in reality, he gave the ball away silly even last week. But I was like, you know what? Whatever. Just I'll go through the motion and we will discuss it, further ahead. He was abysmal. He was terrible. It's shocking. It's embarrassing that he is still at the club, that he's actually playing. He is an ex-footballer. He's not a professional footballer for a club with ambitions, a club with pressure on, a club that has a big fan base. He can play for a team like, not even Bologna, let's be honest, because he is a terrible football player, period. Pre-game, he comes out saying, I feel the trust of the club, the players, and that's why I perform well. You don't perform well. You're crap. And we need to call it out. And it's shocking that these things are still happening at the club. And then they turn around and they're like, why are we not improving? Well, because that's one of the reasons you're not improving. These players playing, these players thinking they're important, these players feeling like they have nothing to prove, whatever, they are terrible, and it's embarrassing that they're playing. That's one, because I didn't have the chance last week, and even last week he was terrible in possession, but I was like, forget about it. Terrible. Oh, on the game, it's just what we did last season. There's no ideas, there's no drive, there's no hunger. The pressing was gone. There was absolutely nothing to be proud of. The positive about the game is a good goal. Great cross, great header, and that's about it. Because we should have lost that goal. Bologna got robbed. Probably it was a pen, in my opinion, and I would be mad if we didn't get that pen, if it happened, for us. And other than that, I don't even know what to say, because I've said everything last year and the year before that. Like, it's just the same thing over and over and over again. You're dropping points against mid-table teams. So what do you want people to think? I don't know. My pre-game build-up was, don't change a winning team, play Miretti. And I'm not saying we would have won that game if you started Miretti, but I believe we had a better chance because Fagioli was dreadful. And it's not a surprise, because he's just not fit. He's not fit. He proved that last week when he came on against Udinese. It was unwatchable. And it was unwatchable again today, because he was terrible. He was sloppy. He was not engaged. He was making silly mistakes. His first touch was completely off, and that's just lack of preseason, because he didn't have one. He didn't have a proper preseason, so I have no idea why he started that game, because that you were playing with 9 with him and Alexandro in that first half. He wasn't good, and he wasn't good last week, so there was no need to play him, period. So that's one thing I was like, weird, but whatever. But the fact that there was no pressing whatsoever, there were no link-up plays, which also include not Miretti being there, because he was a big part of it last week, especially on the left-hand side. but there was no press, there was no hunger, there was no drive, there was nothing. And that midfield got cut open in that first half on a consistent basis. Locatelli, I will start by saying it every single time, not playing in his position, but the guy looks like a Sunday League footballer out there, you know. He does at this moment in time. His first touch, his technical abilities, he doesn't see things, he doesn't feel things. His passing is completely off, you know, and I get it, you're not playing your position, but come on, man. Like, you are messing up the basic stuff. Like, basic stuff. Like, the most easy things you should be able to do, you cannot pull off. And it's sad to see. Like, it's sad to watch. It's sad to watch him out there because you're watching a player that's just struggling big time, you know? And I don't even know what to tell. Like, I don't even know what to add anymore to it because I talked about it last season, you know, and it's just the same thing. It's just the same thing, you know. It like playing at home is you shouldn't have these type of games. We got absolutely dominated by a mid-table side. Like, that's the reality. We got dominated by a mid-table side, and that should never ever be the case at Juve ever. For 90 minutes, basically. You know, you can have an off day, and I'm fine with that. You can have an off day, and I can accept that. But when you have off months, then sorry, the issue is bigger, you know? Um, and like, I don't even know I don't even know what to add anymore. Like, I'm actually speechless at this point because when McKennie comes on out of position on the wing and he's your best player, or not your best player, but he shows things, then I'm like, this is sad. Like credit to him, I guess. But like overall, if I look at the team, um, I'm like, this is sad. This is absolutely sad, and nobody wants to kind of talk about it. Let me see, because I saw an update while I'm live. Oh, it's not important. Never mind. But overall, like I think I discussed everything as well. Like, I'm lost for words, and I'm done with making excuses. I'm absolutely done with it. Even that backline, Bremer was terrible. He was terrible. Alexandro stunk. Danilo in possession is unwatchable. All three of them on possession are not good, and I don't blame them. That's not what they are good at. But that back three, I never liked that. Period. Because there are two players in the back three playing there because they're not good enough to play in their natural position, and that's a fact. That's just a fact of the reality, of a sad reality. They're slow, all three of them. They're not good on the ball, all three of them. And defensively, two of them are not good enough anyway. So I don't even know what the plan is there. You know, I don't get it. You should have brought in any defender. I have no idea why Gatti is being benched. And the messed up part is Bremer felt something in the first half. And not Gatti, but Rugani was warming up. The guy we sent out on loan. The guy Nistel, please leave. The guy who went to Cagliari and got benched, you know, at Cagliari. Like, let that sink in. Was coming on instead of Gatti in the last 3 months showed he was a good player. Will he turn out to be a flop? I don't know. But I know what Rugani has turned out to be. I know what Alexandro has turned out to be. I know why Danilo was playing in the back three. And I'm done accepting these things because we will not improve. We will not go places where we should be when these things keep happening at the club. When these things are being accepted by the club, by the fan base, when people are like, oh, but he loves the club. I don't give two whats if he loves the club. Guys cannot play. I don't care if I love the club. I cannot play. I will look like an absolute donkey out there, but I love the club. So that's the bare minimum now. If you love the club, great. That's an added bonus. But can you play? But that's not what this club has become. That's not what this club has become, and it's just the same thing as last season. Excuse me, not as last week. And we will have some good games and good halves. It will happen, but overall, this is nothing different than what we did last season, and that's just the reality of what it is. But I'm gonna wrap it up because I've done it last season. I have no desire to do it again this season. So thanks for watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you again live tomorrow. Ciao.